Hi, everyone, and welcome into Joshing Around Milwaukee. My name is Josh Albrecht, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht, and we are very, very happy to welcome on today our guest, Micheal Pink, the Artistic Director for the Milwaukee Ballet. Micheal, thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure, Josh.
So, the way that I like to usually start these is to... Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the Milwaukee Ballet, but let's get to know you, Micheal. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to be in this position as the artistic director with the Milwaukee Ballet.
Yeah, so it actually began at the tail end of 2002. I'd been over to an interview for this job, and I was really impressed with the potential of the company. I was really impressed with the city. I loved the city. I loved the architectural images in the city, very Germanic. Absolutely loved the lake. And so I called my wife and I said, if they offer this job to us, this could be a good place and a great place for families, because at the time we had a 6-month-old child and a 2-year-old. And so we thought, as always, great place to come, great place to get involved. They subsequently offered me the job. I accepted. We arrived. And since then, I have been here since the end of 2002, a long time. I've really maintained my commitment to the community and to really trying to create the identity of the Milwaukee Ballet so that it belongs not only to this community, but internationally and nationally. So we have a wonderful reputation. And the way I've done that is to try and create works with dance works that I think really elevate the company, showcase the talent of the company, and educate the audience in such a way that my goal was always that when people hear the name Milwaukee Ballet, they don't worry too much about what is the Milwaukee Ballet doing. They just know that it's worth the price of admission, that it's going to be accessible, it's going to be entertaining, it's going to challenge them. And so that took some time. The first 10 years shot by. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. It just, when they suddenly said, we're celebrating your 10th year, and I'm going, really? Oh, right. Okay.
You probably felt like, hey, I'm just getting started.
Well,
right.
I didn't. It really felt literally like we just unpacked, and then shortly after that, I got a lifetime achievement from the Business Journal, and I thought, oh well, there you go, it's all over.
That's
We're done.
I'm just getting started, and
yeah. But no, here we are, 23 years later. And the goals have been achieved monumentally, and we've managed to raise incredible funds for our new building, the Baumgartner Center for Dance. That was a $26 million campaign. It was relatively easy to raise that money. Of course, the Baumgartners, who are amazing supporters of the arts, gave us a substantial amount of money. Recently we just had a wonderful campaign for a new Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is the annual ballet that every American city has. It's the one where just people who never go to the ballet come to see the ballet. I once spoke to a guy, and I said, "You really should try the ballet." He said, "Well, no, not for me, not for me, not for me." I said, "Well, at least bring the family to the Nutcracker." And he said, "No, I go to that every year."
That's different.
Rest my case.
Oh, the Nutcracker. Yeah.
Well,
can you tell us a little bit about kind of where you were before you came here? Because it's an incredible story that you took this and now you've been here and built this for as long as you have. But kind of what were you doing beforehand, and where were you, and kind of tell us how Micheal came to go, you know what, Milwaukee Ballet.
Okay,
that's the next step.
So as a young kid, I was born in England, if you haven't already guessed that. And as far as I can remember, there was only one mission in my life. That was to be in the arts and to be a performer. And I started doing ballet dancing, which seemed strange at the time because we're talking a few decades ago. And I subsequently had the opportunity to go to the famous Royal Ballet School in London. I trained there for 6 years, and then I got a job, and I danced for 10 years. And during that time, I discovered I had some talents for choreography and singing and doing other things. And the choreography is stuck, so that's something I do, is I've created some major works for this company and many other companies. I was in London, and then I moved to the north of England, and I became the associate director of a company, Northern Ballet. I was there for 10 years. And then I took some time off, and I just thought, you know what? I don't want to belong to anybody, any place. I'm just going to take some time. I went and did a few musicals, started teaching in London again, and then subsequently this and 2 other jobs came up, 3 job applications all at the same time, one in Boston, one in New Zealand, where I'd been working. So I'd had an interesting sort of international career. I spent 10 years working with the incredible Rudolf Nureyev. He and I became great friends. I worked for him in Paris. I worked for him in Milan. So the kind of career that you think, I didn't plan any of this. It's just all taking care of itself. Yeah. Incredibly fortunate. And as that led me to this city. And I felt that, again, it's never been for me about scale and size. I think it gets harder. If you're in the major cities and you're with major institutional organizations, your life is sort of kind of dictated to you because of the scale. You want something that's mid-size so you can really make a difference and you can build something that will last. And that's what we've done. And the organization has a second company, the Milwaukee Ballet too, which I really wanted to promote. And viewers will be able to go and visit them this coming weekend, the 21st, so that they can see them performing. And the idea was this, and the analogy is like a sports team. You've always got to have those guys on the bench, ready, training up. They're not there yet, but you can see that they will be there. And this is exactly what the MB2 is. It's a group of talented individuals who are really fine-tuning their skills at being a professional dancer. And then from them, I can recruit. So over 50% of my company currently has come through that program. So I can bring them in at a young age. I can help train them in the way in which we work, the kind of work we do and the diversity of the work. And they give back to us by working in the community, a lot of community engagement programs. And at the same time, they can work independently with their program, which is Momentum, a performance program. And then they provide for the Nutcracker the incredible support of being Snows and Flowers and Jacks and all these characters and any of our major productions they're involved with. So effectively, we have a company of about 45 dancers with our second company, our main company. And it's here, and it's in the state, and it's the only professional company really in the state. And we've been here for over 55 years. So it's a major part of our cultural identity. And it's been a pleasure over the time I've been here to work with the other groups and to build our company into this internationally recognized organization that has a pipeline from really, if you're 3 years of age, you can come and join our school, the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. You could go all the way through to the top. And in fact, I've got 2 dancers currently in my company who are leading artists that went through
fully
that system. Fully homegrown, which is great because, again, the values that I see here in this incredible city are really family orientated. Yes, we have a lot of social challenges and a lot of issues, but which state, which town doesn't, which city? But I see here that this city has huge potential, and we're only just beginning to see some of that potential. We're seeing the real estate market balloon. We're seeing all these downtown buildings. We're seeing here in the Avenue Mall. Whoever thought this could ever happen? Everybody said, nah, it won't work. That's what I was told when I came here. Forget it, it won't work. Well, it is. Yeah. So it may take some time. And my thoughts on that have always been that back in good old England, we take things very slowly and thoughtfully. So if you join something, don't expect it to move quickly and don't expect promotion. You have to do your time and your service. And when I went to the Royal Ballet, they said you have to wait 10 years before you can be considered to become the next rank, etc. It's not like that anymore. But this city made me feel like that. That you have to take the time to invest, build relationships. But when you build their relationships, they feel for life. And I think the support that my family, my kids are grown up now, has been amazing. This is their home. This is where they call home. One lives in London now. The other one is going to be moving to Scotland in the next few months. So, but this will always be home to them. It served me very well. I hope I've served the community very well. I'm very passionate about the whole organization. And we've built something that with the help of the community financially and support-wise will be here for the next 50, 60 years, even longer. And I hope that my legacy will live on through the work that we've created.
For sure, there's been several amazing moments in your career here. And one of the, you already mentioned the building of the new theater space, which is just absolutely stunning. And I would encourage anyone to go and watch a performance there. Yeah. You literally, as the artistic director, you have to just embrace that proximity, right? The proximity that the dancers are to the audience to be able to tell the story in such a rich, intimate way. Like I was blown away. I mean, you can literally hear them breathing, like that's how close you are to the dancers. And so it really changed my perspective when I finally had a chance. I've seen a few community events there, some gatherings for the United Performing Arts Fund and different things like that, but I had not had a chance to see a full production until Encore recently that's been showing this at the beginning of this year. And I was blown away by that proximity to the dancer. It changed my perspective on the thing. So how does that flow for you?
Well, it's great that you bring that point up because, we all sit at home. We've got our screens and they're right in front of our eyes. Well, this is probably as close as you can get without being recorded on an iPhone or on a screen. You really, as you say, you're up close and personal. And then the next step is when we perform at the PAPS, which is just such a beautifully ornate theatre. For me, it feels like a real theatre. And then you go to the extremely large Performing Arts Center, which is more like a convention center. With every step, you lose a degree of that intimacy. And we say intimacy because if you are that close and you can hear them breathing, you've got to decide whether you believe them or not. And with any performing artist, what we want you to do is to become involved and believe in us. Dance is, a lot of people think they won't be able to relate to dance. Well, I've got news to you. The first thing you do when you're a kid and you can stand up is you start jigging around to music and your parents go, look, he's dancing. Put him on the table. Put him here.
Yeah. I do that to Josh, actually.
I was going to say.
Put him on the table.
Before we started.
Just before we started, you were on this table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Getting better every day.
You were very good, and I'm sorry I didn't have any dollar bills. So the communication of dance is brilliant because fundamentally there are no words. So it translates in any culture, anywhere in the world. And I've worked in some amazing places where, again, you're expressing with your bodies. And we as individuals can really use our bodies in a very powerful way. When we're looking at the Olympics now, these people are expressing their passion through their skills, but it's with their bodies and the power and the coordination and the determination and the ups and the downs. All of that is what you see in dance, of course. And again, as I say, we have many different sorts of dance. Contemporary dance is, as you will have seen in the Encore program, can be just sublimely beautiful and technically so incredibly difficult. And usually you can see every muscle, every sinew in the dancers' bodies, which in itself is like going into an art gallery and suddenly a huge, great statue comes to life in front of your eyes, and you go, wow, that's amazing. And then we have our classical, the Nutcrackers, the Swan Lakes, the other productions where you're seeing people do technical steps. So it's ice dancing, but not quite as, as whizzy round and things. But they're doing technical steps that demand years of training and dedication, because by the nature of these type of steps, they are bringing the heritage of ballet, which goes back to the mid-19th century, to life, keeping it alive here. Our job as dancers is to continue the legacy and the guardianship of that heritage. So we find that in the company, we can do a real wide range of productions, which means there's something for everybody. And as you become more involved and inquisitive about the art form, maybe you'll come to something like the Genesis competition, which we're doing at the PAPS Theatre. And, that's going to be the 13th of March, 13th through 15th of March is going to be the Genesis production. And I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But again, that will be another step and another way. And you're going to come, Josh, and you're going to come, Josh, and Josh and Josh, we're all going to come.
Are we going to be on stage?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You're going to be in the audience because you have I told you, you have an important role to play.
Right.
Oh, well, and I want to talk about some of these upcoming things that the Milwaukee Ballet has going on. And we're going to do that when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. Josh Albrecht here, Josh Albrecht there. Michael Pink, the artistic director for the Milwaukee Ballet, joining us here, and loved what we've talked about so far. But let's talk about what the Milwaukee Ballet has coming up and how people can be a part of it.
Sure, yeah. We mentioned the Momentum, which is our second company, the MB2 performances. They are at the Baumgartner Center for Dance. So Josh, the performance that you saw, it's in that space. They do that for 2 weekends. They do it Feb 21st, 22nd, so that's coming up, and the following weekend, the 28th and the 1st of March. Then after that, the Genesis, we just touched on this. This is a competition. It's an international competition. We do it every 2 years. We've been doing it since I arrived here. And I wanted to be able to make sure that the lifeblood of a dance company is new work. The same as for the repertory theatre. When Ayad Akhtar writes a new play, that's an incredible thing. It's theirs, it's unique, it's a world premiere. We have had so many world premieres of new works. This competition is really, we select 3 competitors. They can come from anywhere in the world, and in the past years we've had people from all over the world. And they will come here. They meet the company, and I put the names of the company dancers in a hat, and then I say to them, okay, you can pick 4 guys and 4 girls. Okay, so they put their hands in, they pick them out, and I say, those are the people you're working with, and those are the people you're working with. And then they go away, and they have the same amount of time, same resources, and they have to come up with the work. And then I bring in 3 international judges from the profession. They select the winner, they get money, they get applause, they get kudos, and then the winner will come back at a later date and create another work. So that's March 13th through the 15th. The great thing about that is that you, the audience, if you're in the audience, you also select your favorite. So you say which one is the audience favorite. And they get...
I don't want there to be a loser. I want everyone to know match.
I say to everybody every night, it's a competition, but forget that. There are no losers. By them being able to create new work, that's what they want to do. So it's a win-win-win for everybody, win for the audience. Right. And we get to practice voting, which is a really important part of what we want to do all the time.
How is the voting done? Is it just jeering and cheering? Or is it...
No, you actually, everything's done low tech. You're going to probably just tear off a piece of paper and put it in a box.
Love it.
Good. To provide you.
Anonymous.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's totally anonymous. And even the running order of the show, I get people in the office to pick out. And whatever the order is, A, B, and C, then that's what we do. So no 2 nights are necessarily the same.
Fantastic.
And then we finish at the PAC in May 1st through the 3rd and the 8th through the 10th with Alice in Wonderland. That's one of those big classical productions I talked about. The guy who created this is director of the Hong Kong Ballet. He's originally from Cuba. And he just does great work. His costume designer is one of the costume designers from Cirque du Soleil. So everything is colorful. It's charming, a lot of hard work, a lot of fun. It's one for all the family. So we have those major productions coming up. And the Alice in production features students from the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. Wow. And we mentioned them early. So our kids get the opportunity to really perform quite a lot on stage. And they're also the senior kids who are in the pre-professional program, and the academy will also be working with the MB2 on community engagement. So they could go out into the community, or we would bring people into our building. We do a lot of open classes in our building now for all ages, adults. So people who said, I used to be a dancer, well, come down and do what you used to do and just stretch out, join in the community classes. The idea is that Baumgartner Center for Dance should feel like a welcoming, open space for people who just want to come and just connect. And it's a little bit more involved than just going to the gym. It's that sort of moment that people get to pretend they're a dancer. Yep. Well, I'm going to take that back. We're all dancers. It's the way we do it that matters.
Yeah, you should see me tango.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Actually.
Are we going to put that on the table now? What are we going to do?
I've heard it takes 2, and I'm out. So we probably won't. So, Micheal, tell us a little bit quickly here about if people want to learn more about upcoming things or how they can be a part of this. Where do they go? What are the next steps?
Yeah, the easiest thing, of course, is to just go on social media and put in MilwaukeeBallet.org. Remember, we're a non-profit. Or just look us up on the website, MilwaukeeBallet.org, and then you can find, it'll take you immediately to ticketing because we need to sell tickets. You can find out all that information. You can then it's an easy website. You can scroll down and find out about open classes, about enrollments in the schools, what are the terms and conditions of everything there. So I encourage people to just go through that quickly and get an overview and reach out and connect. And I'm always around. If people have a question or want to say to me, I love you so much, I want to give you gazillions of dollars, they can find me.
There's a give, Josh. Yeah. There's a give now button right on the website, right at the top. Just go ahead, give.
Flashing.
Yeah,
hey,
and merch. You guys have merch. You can get a little Milwaukee Ballet sweatshirt or a tumbler.
Yeah. There's a little boutique there, but and that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, that's fun. I love being in the theater space. I love all of the. There's a great wall that you guys have all of the old posters from all the shows. It's just a fun way to.
That started in 2005. Remember, I came at the end of 2002, so I said, can we at least just have some record of of what we do.
Yeah.
It's a pretty impressive wall. And the building, for people that don't know, the building is in the 3rd Ward. It's at the end of Jackson Street. So when you're driving down Jackson Street, you can't miss it. We're right at the end. So we're very visible. And we have 7 amazing studios, and the envy of a lot of people in this profession. I have people who come in and they just stand and look, and you think these are just like big, large sort of basketball courts. But for dancers in this country to have a clean, big, open, healthy space is really, really important, rather than trying to dance in a loft in New York around concrete pillars and so forth, which is the norm for a lot of companies. So we are very fortunate. And again, that happened because the community wanted to make a commitment to the company and I guess to my leadership. And we're so grateful for that. And long may that continue. We're going to be really looking to build up our financial reserves to make sure that whatever comes, we can weather that storm and we can continue to bring dance to this community, through this community and by this community, and hopefully to be able to present it to the world at large. We've filmed 2 productions, Romeo and Juliet and Peter Pan, for National PBS Productions, so people can see the quality of who we are. So
I love it.
I think we got to give him a second Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
yeah, I think so.
Get another one more. Thank you so much, Micheal, for joining us today. We really do appreciate it, and support the arts. People support the Milwaukee Ballet. We appreciate the time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks so much. And thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. For more information, go to visitmilwaukee.org. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. If you're seeing this part of the show, it's because you're watching or listening on one of Visit Milwaukee's social media channels. We really do appreciate that. We're having a great time with Micheal from the Milwaukee Ballet. Micheal, this is the part of the show, the big question. Josh asks it. Take it away.
It's a tough question. So we like to say Milwaukee has a lot of great momentum right now, a lot of really amazing things happening. We call this Fresh City Vibes. So what is giving you Fresh City Vibes right now?
The one thing that's always given me Fresh City Vibes is the lakefront. I absolutely just love our lakefront. I love the fact that it's green, that it's protected, that we're seeing these beautiful structures that are going up on the lakeside. And just that body of water. When I drive to work every day, I'm fortunate enough to drive down there. It just makes me feel the possibilities, the endless possibilities. It's like the fourth wall on in the stage. You blast straight through it, and you just don't feel like you're boxed in any way, etc. So I'm thankful to the lake. I love the lake, and particularly this time of year, and I'm talking too much probably, but this time of year when it's part frozen and the ice sculptures come up, it's a living, breathing part of this city, and it's been my lifeline.
It's different every day. I said that I drive past it every day, and I always tell people, they're like, "What do you love best about the lake?" And I was like, "It's literally different every day. Different colors, different waves, different flow."
Yeah, I want somebody to just set up a camera at the top end of it as you come down Memorial Drive and take a picture at the same time in the morning and the evening every day of the year, and then just run it as a stopgap. I think people would be amazed. There are never 2 days that are really the same.
Yeah, love it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Micheal, for being here and for and supporting the arts and doing what you do. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. As I mentioned before, you can always find more information on Joshing Around at visitmilwaukee.org. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
'Cause 2 Joshes are better than 1.